Hey guys, my name is Ahmad, and I'll be playing the NES Blaster Master game for you guys today. Unfortunately, I was supposed to have a commentator here, Scavenger, but it seems like he's not around, and if he does end up joining us, I think he will just pop in and do the rest of the commentary. But for now, I think I'm just going to do that, and yeah, we're good to go. So I'm just going to tell you when the timer starts. It's when I gain control of the tank, so not immediately. Let's go. It'll tell us how many lives we have, and go. So this is the Japanese version of the Blaster Master. Probably something a lot of you guys have played in the past. There's tons of differences when it comes to the US, the Japanese, and the PAL version. For example, the PAL version speedrun is only like 4 minutes long because it's completely broken. In the Japanese version, there's a lot of glitches that doesn't work in any other version, and that's why we're playing this. Mostly because we can skip a lot of stuff, but not quite as much as in the European version. So it's one of the first Metroidvania games, so we're going to collect some items so we can progress to the next level. And of course, we have this lovely tank called Metal Attacker, actually, in the Japanese version, instead of the Sophia the Third, which is actually the planet we're in the Japanese version, instead of being the tank in the US version. And of course, we have this lovely overhead view as well. So, like I said, the basic idea of this game is go into these dungeons in every single area of this game and find the boss within. There's plenty of dungeons in each area, but we only want to find the boss and get the upgrade. These guys will drop us some triple missiles, which we're going to use throughout the run. And this is the first boss, what we so used to call a mother brain, because it looks like a brain, right? Basically just going to mash her down here. That's the first boss. Very simple, just a lot of mashing, easy stuff. There we go. And that was the first upgrade we got for the tank. Basically just a weapon that will allow us to destroy the Guardian to Area 2, and it also allows us to destroy some blocks. The next upgrade will also allow us to destroy blocks, but it's way more efficient than this one. So the way to Area 2 is right here. It's being protected by the Guardian, like I said. And we're going to use some missiles to destroy it. So it's very simple. And very fast. So, I forgot to mention about like the main idea of the speedrun. Obviously it's a Metroidvania game, you have to know where you're going, but the very big part of this speedrun comes from the lag management. So the less enemies you have on the screen, the better. So that's why you see me shooting as much as I can and wipe the screen from all the enemies that will spawn. That's the very big portion of the run. And the second portion is pretty much just knowing how to control the tank, which is extremely heavy, and it acts like a heavy tank, so yeah. Kudos to the developers for making it feel like a heavy object. Didn't seem like a easy thing to do in the NES era. So Area 2 is this castle area. There's a lot of worms, a lot of annoying enemies. And we're mostly focusing on quick movement without bonking our heads to anything and just keeping the tank momentum. Here's a little skip. That saves about a second if you get that right. Mines are the biggest cause of lag, by far. So if you see a mine, better be ready to destroy it. Okay. I forgot to mention about the pausing as well, which we do in every single screen transition in the game. It doesn't really save a lot of time when you do it only a couple of times, but when you do it throughout the run, we're talking about seconds here, and very, very important thing. Maybe slightly even annoying when you keep doing it over and over again at first, but you get used to it pretty fast. And of course, Area 2 dungeon, it's supposed to be a maze, and we're going to see a lot of that abuse here. Don't worry guys, it will go away soon enough. That was frame perfect, by the way. We didn't even see the screen moving. Cool. So, the upcoming boss is the first Crabalus. And of course, if you ever heard of Blastomaster, you've probably heard of the infamous pause glitch, which allows us to kill bosses very fast in this game. So, what we're going to do is we're going to throw a single bomb into the boss's hitbox, and we're just going to wait until he dies. So, here we go. The second boss. That's the second boss. As easy as it goes. Now we have to do some backtracking to Area 3, which is the factory zone. And that zone will have a lot of bombs everywhere. Very dangerous area in the speedrun, and a lot of runners actually end up dying there if you're not careful. And I'm getting a lot of hits here, which is not a good thing. Even if I have played this game plenty of times, I'm still pretty nervous about Area 3. But I'm still going to take all the damage I get, because, you know, damage boosting is the way to go, and we have plenty of lives. Also, in the Japanese version, we have infinite lives. Excuse me, not infinite lives, infinite continues. So, the PAL version and the US version didn't have that. You only had like 3 continues, and then it was game over. But in the Japanese version, you have infinite continues, so you should be able to finish the game at least. Imagine a Japanese game actually being easier than the other counterparts. Alright, so Area 3. Well, that was pretty unfortunate hit there by the bird. I'm going to avoid getting this. Usually I damage boost through this worm here, the red worm, but let's play it safe for once. Okay, good RNG from those guys. Going to use 3 triple missiles here. Hopefully none of these cluster bombs will throw me. Thank you, any presents? All good. So, what happens after Area 3, we're going to press the reset button of our console, and we're going to the beginning of the game. But at the same time, when you do that, the game will save your weapon progress, all the upgrades you've gained to that point. So, that's a very, very unique thing in the Japanese version as well. Instead of forcing us to backtrack, we can just reset the console and go straight to the beginning of the game, where we're supposed to go either way, so it's very, very convenient. But not until we get the upgrade from Area 3 boss, which is the hover. And of course, hover allows our tank to, well, hover. You can actually see the hover meter, or at least the hover text already above my health. Obviously, we don't have the upgrade yet, so we can't collect the hover. Well, we can collect it, but it doesn't matter since we're going to reset. If this would be another category, we would already be worried about collecting hover, since every single hover you collect, they will actually stack up already, even without the upgrade. So, that's a little cool detail to keep in mind. That's the hover, by the way, the H. And also forgot to mention about the enemy type. So if you know the enemy type, you will also know what they're going to drop. So every enemy has a fixed drop. So these guys will only give me health, and those birds that you saw, and you will see again momentarily, right here. These guys will always give you hover. Well, not always, but you know, that's the only drop they can give you. Hover or nothing. So Area 3 dungeon, once again, a lot of deboosts. Hopefully nothing... Not too much, because Area 3 boss can be very intimidating. It's very mash heavy, so shoutouts to all the mashers out there. It's not a very nice boss for your fingers. I'm just going to play this quite safe so I don't actually die here. Well, it wouldn't really matter if I do, but, you know, time loss. Alright, so this is the photophage. Lots of blocks. And that was a perfect fight. Nice. So now we're going to do the reset. Reset our console. Go back to the beginning of the game. And this is the most RNG part of the run, something that will throw you off completely, and probably the main reason why a lot of people don't run this game, or the category at least. So we need 3 hovers, and the only way to get those at the beginning of the game is to kill these birds, or sidewinders as they are really officially called, I guess. There's 1, there's 2. Oh, that was good RNG, really nice. Alright, then we go to Area 4, hopefully. We have these hover drops ideally located for us to collect. Alright, I was kind of worried about that. Area 4 is the sewer area. But we don't like sewers in NES games, right guys? We don't like those. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to use a wrap glitch, which is quite something. So instead of entering a doorway, we're going to do this. Since Area 4 upgrade is to get the key, but we don't need the key, so we can just go through walls and go to Area 5. And we're going to do the same thing here. 3 times, since every time I do this, the tiles will be pushed by 1 tile. So, that's another one. I don't like the position of this enemy, though. That's pretty bad. Okay. And then there's this 1 tile where we can go through the blockage, pause the game to reset the normal values, and we're going to go into the Area 5 dungeon here. Using the tank would be pretty pointless here either way, since without the dive upgrade, which we're going to get from Area 5 boss, we don't, like, the tank would move really slowly underwater either way, so it's actually faster to use our Cain character here, just to swim. Alright, unlike in any other category, we actually want to get damage here. So we can die at the very... let's kill this guy. Right when we enter the dungeon, we want to kill ourselves. Maybe not really a advisable thing when it comes to a marathon, but I guess I'm going all in here, so whatever. That's 1. That's 2. 1 more shot would be ideal. Oh, I missed those bullets, whatever. So didn't get the fastest death here, but it's okay. Hopefully I will not mess up this glitch, because Area 5 boss is impossible for me to kill if I don't get the glitch. It's one of the most nerve-wracking parts of this run. So hopefully I will get it. There's a couple of different strats you can go for. I'm going for the marathon save strat, hopefully. This is really, really unsettling. Let's go. So, Area 5 boss. Okay, we didn't get that right away. That's okay. There we go. Okay, second try, that's fine. And now we're just going to destroy this Game Boy. Game Boy has been destroyed, and we can get the dive upgrade and get out of here. going to kill ourselves. Gotta continue to spawn our tank. And this is the only time when you can... See? I'm using the upgrade with what we just got from Area 5 boss. That's it. That's it. Well, okay. I guess you're going to see it slightly here as well. There you go. That was the only reason why we went to Area 5 boss. Area 6 is... Well, you guys love ice stages. So, that's the Blaster Master Ice stage right here. Obviously we have ice physics here, which makes tank movement very, very tight and kinda awful, but it's not as awful as the upgrade we're going to get from... Well, not from this. Area 6 boss will give us Wall 1, which allows us our tank to grab onto walls. So that's still fine, but Area 7 upgrade with Wall 2 is god-awful, and everything you knew about the movement will be thrown away because of it. And thankfully it only happens at the very end of the game, so you don't have to really worry about it until that. Some tight climbing here. The reason why I've destroyed this one block above me, so I can actually jump a bit earlier, so I don't bonk my head against the blocks. One of the places... Oops. One of the places here where we're going to do a very tricky jump. The leap of faith, quite literally what they call this. If I fail this, it will be like 1 minute time loss. Okay, easy. Very scary. The less you think about the jump, the better. Because if you fail that, that's gonna be a massive time loss. Okay, getting some homing missiles there, which we're gonna use for some worms. And flies, because no one likes flies. Assuming people likes worms then, but whatever. One of the few rooms in this area where the ice physics are not there. Okay. Looking good. This is a very laggy room here. So the quicker you kill these flies, the better. Oh, that was actually really nice. Cool. Some homing missile kills here. We're going to respawn these blocks by pausing the game. And Area 6, dungeon. The real dungeon. I'm going to get this safety health here. There's no reason for me not to take it. And of course you can walk down here without hitting the spikes. In case no one knew about that. Some ice physics will kick in soon because of these ice sections coming up right now. A lot of runners use the spikes because they don't have the ice physics, so it's a lot easier to use those. But you will also get damaged, so high risk, high reward, right? Alright. Area 6 boss, the Frozen Graveless. And we're going to use the same trick here. No guys, he's not dabbing. Stop saying he's dabbing. And then we're going to reset again. At the beginning of the game? On our way to Area 7. This is... When I was talking about Area 5 boss being one of the most stressful things about the run, now I will show you the reason why people don't like to run this game. So Area 7 would be probably the longest stage in the game if whoever actually found the trick wasn't gonna find the trick, because it literally skips the entire stage at the expense of, well, it is a very hard trick to pull off. I have never achieved that in any marathon so far on the first try, so if I do it here, we're going to make some history. But don't count on it, because that trick only seems to work in practice, but never when you're doing runs. So we're gonna take a slightly different route here, since obviously we can destroy these blocks and quicken things up a bit. There we go, and Area 7 would be somewhere around here, if my small memory can remember this. Small brain. There we go. So, like I was saying about the wall 1 before, now we're going to see what wall 1 means. We can basically climb on walls, as the name might suggest. And this is the way to Area 7. Already getting nervous. Come on, please let me get this once. Right away in a marathon. The only thing I'm worried about this run. Alright. So, we enter the first dungeon of this area, which is not it's not the boss dungeon. But we can actually skip the lava here and go into the right dungeon. Alright. Oh my god! I did it! I broke the curse! Yes! Alright, the red frog. Four, five, six. Should be dead by now. Okay, so that was the red frog. Whew! Alright! I'm already officially happy about this. Then we're going to kill ourselves 3 times to get to continue. Amazing. Amazing. First time ever. Getting on the first try. Now because of that, we got the Wall 2 upgrade, which allows our tank to cling onto ceilings. And even though it might sound like a nice upgrade... Oh, the hover as well. Perfect. But yeah, even though it might sound like a good upgrade, for some reason, because you have the upgrade right now, every single corner you're trying to jump out of, or from, the tank decides to cling onto them. So that's why you either have to stop pressing a direction when you're closing in an edge like that, or you have to jump way earlier. So there's 2 methods you can break the grab. And it completely destroys everything you learned about this tank movement before. So that's why you see me jumping so early there. Alright, the last area. Area 8. Let's see. To be honest, Area 8 was also... Well, it was the only stage in the game that kind of freaked me out when I was a kid. The music is very scary, if you can even call that a music. But yeah, this is the way to go to Area 8. You have to use Wall 1 combined with Wall 2. And we got double hover, so best possible luck you can imagine. We can skip a few things in this stage. A lot of damage boosting through spikes. And damage boosting through enemies in general. Hopefully I'm not going to get too much damage, because there's going to be one little room called the Worm Corridor. And that usually kills all the runs, if not Area 7 skip, and this is the one right here. Okay, looking good so far. Absolutely perfect! Nice! I think we're good to go here. Going to destroy this mine. Some lag management in this room as well. Going to destroy these flies and the red skulls before they are able to spawn the red worms, because those two combined are a big source of lag. Okay. You can't avoid all of them, so what I'm doing right now is close to perfection. Alright, I got everything there. One last trick before the two final bosses of the game. Going to try to do a spike jump here. And we got that as well! Literally a perfect run all the way to this point. I'm gonna be happier. Alright, the plutonium boss. So, going to do a variation of the pause strat here. We're going to refresh the iframes by pausing. And still mash, 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 mash. And the boss is dead. And the last, the Lord of the Underworld. You have to mash here fast, otherwise, if the boss goes out from iframes, you will get hit. So, we're just going to keep him here. Pressed against the ceiling. He will lose his shield soon, by the way. Look at him. There we go, halfway there. And the time is coming up when the screen fades to black all the way. And time. Wow, that was incredibly good run. Damn. That was amazing. Alright, so NES Blaster Master is very... Well, the only thing you need to know about in this run is about just lag management, pretty much. But it's easy to learn, except a couple of tricks you need to pull off. They're a bit tricky. Unfortunately, Scavenger was not able to join me on commentary. I hope he's fine. He's one of the reasons why I started to run this game in the first place. So shoutouts to Scavenger, Uranium Anchor, Shining Dragoon, David, Big John, all the Blaster Master runners. You are a great bunch. And of course, shout out to the entire Blaster Master community. The Zero games actually kind of boosted up the runs, or the runners rather, the amount of runners. But yeah, the NES counterpart doesn't really see a lot of action these days, which is a real shame. The run is very chill, except of course the Area 7. Like I said, that requires some attention if you want to get it right. I'm never consistent with it. I don't think anyone will be, ever. But yeah, that's the run. Thank you for having me, guys, and I'll be doing Mega Man 11 next, so stay tuned.